One last thing I want to bring up for today is I had an incident on my Facebook page where, girls were agreeing to swap with other people. And I think it's nice. It has its advantages because sometimes people can't find something and then the other person can and they'll do a swap. But I think that's great to do that, but what really bugs me is it's just so much cheating or theft going around where one person will include $100 and say, this is, get me this, and this, and you get me, a list of exactly what each other asked for, and then the other person won't buy the stuff they agreed to buy. It wasn't $100 worth. They just throw a bunch of cheap stuff in there, or worse, they make a career out of going after people with good hearts and agreeing to swap, and then they'll get their package and they never even, and they make killings on free makeup and don't send out to people. And literally people on YouTube, girls on YouTube make a career out of this. But being that it was on my page and, everybody's friendly with everybody. I've only had one or two incidences. One instance where I had to take a girl off the page because she was crazy, insulting people and cursing at people and just real ugliness. And my page is for encouraging one another. I don't care what, size you are, what sexual orientation you have. It's a page where you can feel comfortable and accepted, and for the most part, that's what my page has been. And I was really shocked. This one girl was like really being nice to another girl saying, I know you can't get this in your country, so I'm going to send this to you. And so the girl did her part and sent her all the stuff, and yet this other girl didn't do it, and I was really shocked. And at first she said she was sick. She had caught pneumonia. She had to be hospitalized twice. But this occurred in July. And the swap agreement was in July. And, I understand you were hospitalized twice, but you're home now. If you're not feeling well. She said her husband was going to take the box. He never did. I said, at least take a picture. Usually they give you your customs number at the post office. Take a picture of it, mail it to her. Post it on her page or on, my page. And she said she was going to have her husband mail it, that the box is ready, blah, blah, blah. Or that it wasn't ready and she wanted to add some more stuff, but it was like ready to go if need be. And she never did. And it just really surprised me. I thought, did she die or something? And I checked her page. And she just 2 weeks ago, she was on the page sounding chipper. Oh, I want to go shopping on QVC and, blah, blah, blah. And posting chipper stuff. So she was capable of getting that package out. Whether she had finished, there was just one more thing she said she needed to add. And, you could, in good faith, send the box how it is and maybe later send her the other stuff you wanted to send her. So just be careful when swapping because I've heard horror stories. I've said before, I don't believe in swapping. And, I like to help people as much as I can. And, usually I'd rather just send a gift to someone than agree to a swap. And it's usually not, really something expensive. There have been girls, even though they don't watch my videos because I've said over and over again, I do not do swaps. And yet they're still trying to get me to swap. Girls I've never met, girls that don't really talk to me, especially when it comes to the Wet n Wild limited edition. You know how I am. I get obsessed. I go out of my way. I find it. And and the few times that I haven't found it, there have been girls out of the goodness of their heart that just sent it to me without me asking. And those are the girls that I trust to do swaps with. And we've never really done swaps. Just that, one of them won't accept payments. So I tell her, is this something you like? And I'll look for it for her. And the other one, and I'll send them stuff, back. And it's usually, nothing too expensive, like under $10. So girls will, those are the only, like maybe 2 or 3 girls I trust to swap with. because out of the goodness of their heart, they sent me something first, you know. So, girls are still asking me to swap, even though I say over and over again, I do not swap. They're still asking me to swap. And if not, they say that they'll buy something from me. Well, okay. It's not that simple. First of all, I'm going out of my way searching for something that's hard to find. That's taking up my energy and my time that I don't have. Also taking up my gas. Gas is expensive. Then aside from that, the product's going to cost me whatever, $20, $30 plus tax. They're going to have to pay me through PayPal. PayPal is going to charge me fees. Also, shipping, especially to other countries, is about $10, $15. I would say on average it's about $12, $13 to ship to another country. So, you know, they would have to pay me my PayPal fees, the full price of the product, the shipping. You know, it'll get costly. And usually the girls are like, oh, forget it. You know, hey, you must not watch my channel. I do not do swaps. And I'm you know, I don't have the luxury of time and energy and money to be searching for things after I've searched for it myself, you know. And I even had one girl say she would send me stuff, and she never sent me anything. So, you know, I really advise you, just be careful. Maybe know who you're swapping with. Like the two girls that have bought stuff from me first in good faith were Annette and Antoinette. AA True here on YouTube, and the other one I don't remember what her YouTube name is, but I call her Lulu. Those are the only two girls I really trust to swap with there, and I have asked one or two other girls who were willing, and I was willing to take a chance to maybe get me something if I can't find it, and I would, you know, pay them for it, you know, through PayPal. So, you know, you gotta really be careful. See, these girls are my friends on Facebook. And we've conversated so many times. So, I mean, know who you're swapping with. You know, if you don't know the person, don't swap with them. I never in a million years would have thought that girl on my Facebook page, on my beauty, all things makeup page. I never would have thought that she would have done that to the other girl. She just seems so nice, and you know, she's the one who offered to do these things and help people find stuff. I'm just really shocked that she would have done that to her. You know, I mean, be responsible, because I mean, honestly, I'm one of the most compassionate people in the world. But I don't think that being sick is an excuse when you have someone else who can go to the post office for you. I know that when she said she was in the hospital with pneumonia, almost died. I know that when I almost died, I knew I was dying. And nobody believed me. The doctors in North Carolina are stupid jerks. Even though he did a blood test, he never looked at the blood test. And I was 2 more days, I would have been dead had my husband not, you know, kind of argued with him to take care of me. And when he finally looked at the blood results, he was petrified that he was gonna be kicked out of being a doctor, and they wouldn't let me go home. But I knew I was gonna die, because I know my own body. I know what was happening to me. My husband said my skin was like turning gray. I took care of business before that. I started thinking about people that I might have offended, and I wrote them all letters, you know, saying that if I've ever offended you, I'm sorry, and telling them, you know, that I love them or whatever, what they mean to me. And, you know, I tried to do what I thought I had to do before. I thought that might happen, and I just prayed and prayed and prayed, God, don't let me die. And thank goodness my husband went with me to the doctor, kind of argued with the doctor. The doctor finally looks at my record and got petrified. And I was admitted immediately. I was not even allowed to go home. I had to have 2 blood transfusions. I had to have a DNC. And they inserted an IUD with medication on it to help me stop bleeding, and it didn't work. I had to have a hysterectomy, and I just regret not getting my ovaries removed. Because look what I'm going through now. Because the stupid doctors, they, oh, I'm not taking out your ovaries. When it's said all over the internet, medically, you have to, because the person will wind up coming back later anyway. So, you know, I thank God that I didn't die. But before that, I wanted to get things right. So this girl had pneumonia. She said her husband was taking care of things for her. What would it have cost her husband to take it to the post office? She said she was going to have him do that, and didn't. And I just could not believe that 2 weeks ago she was all chipper and happy and whatever, saying she wants to go shopping and on QVC and blah blah blah. And meanwhile, you've stuck somebody, So I would have never thought in a million years that she would have done that. So just know, because people can be all nice to you and you still don't know them, So just be careful when doing swabs. Know the person that you're doing swabs with. Make sure you guys have been communicating a long time. Like April lives in Australia. I mean, we were gonna do a swap once. It didn't go through, but we were gonna do a swap once. See, I trusted her, and really, I was just gonna send her stuff out of the goodness of my heart, because that I would rather do that. But she's like, no, I'll send you stuff too. But it didn't. It kind of fell through, because what I was gonna get, I think her mom got her already. So, and it was cool, But April and I talk a lot on YouTube, Annette and I talk a lot on YouTube. And Lulu and I talk a lot on Facebook. So, know the person, do they talk to you a lot? Do you guys talk a lot? Are you guys friends on Facebook? Are you guys friends on YouTube? Know the person before you agree to do a swap. One more suggestion I might add is that if the person, you don't know them, and they're saying, oh, I'll get you first. That type of thing. You first. When I get your package, then I will mail you the package. Because, seriously, there are women on YouTube that make a career out of this. I heard the police had to get involved. They had to call lawyers. And it didn't look hopeful. The person might have gotten in trouble. Maybe, who knows, if they would have did jail time for theft, or whatever it's called. I forgot another word for the situation, but you're still never going to get your money back. So just please, please, please be careful when swapping with someone.